All right, guys, circle up.
And post all of them.
Can I watch the bar footage?
Yeah.
Can you share that?
For sure.
All right, you just want to do some mount attacks.
Google that.
You wanted it. So we're going to go over basic attacks, when to attack, your Americana. So Idris isn't going to be sitting with his hands here. He's probably going to have his hands in front. In sport, Jiu Jitsu, or grappling, a lot of times they might even cross their hands. Okay? If they're crossed, it's the top one of your attack. If he just holds them in front and they're even, you can push down either. What you guys are going to do, palms here, okay? You're going to drive forward. As soon as his hand hits, there's your back. Elbow drops. You want to keep that space in between his head. Okay? And then from here, your hand just slides right under the elbow. Okay? And you're 5 fingers over. Okay? To finish the Americana from mount, pull the elbow down, lean your head over the hand that's pinning, and lift the elbow. Okay? If you can't finish it because you got flexible elbows, grapevine your leg, shift, drag his elbow down even more. Okay? So your goal with an Americana, right? Now I'm going to finish it here, right? Pull the elbow down, see how it's already tightening him up, and then here. The more flexible he is, the further you have to go. Sometimes you have to drag it up onto his belly, okay? Problem with mount is your knee is right here. So you got to move it. So if I get here, and I drag down and I hit my own knee, there's not enough room on this side. I got to move my knee. So how do I move it? I grapevine, okay? Walk your elbows, finish. Okay, so it all starts from here. His hands are crossed. Right here, straight arms. Don't bend and then try to push, okay? Drive all your weight. Hold it, okay? I don't care how hard he holds, and if he doesn't move his head, he gets the elbow, okay? Drop it, slide your hand under, 5 fingers over, drag that down to your knee and lift for 1. If you need to make more room, get your elbow out of the way, walk your arms down, same thing. You guys think you got it? On 3. 1, 2. Sometimes are really strong. So everything happens the same. I drop everything down. I go in. But Idris is strong, so he's able to punch his arm straight. Okay? And this is where we end up. A lot of people like to attack the straight arm here from mount. It gets much easier. Okay, rewind. Okay. This hand moves, so slowly straighten, okay? This one stays here, okay? If I want to attack this, see how it's over here? And my sternum is technically here? Flick your foot up. And you gotta finish from there. Drop your head onto your thumb, and just finish, okay? So if you get here and he manages to punch out, don't try to finish it here. Adjust your body, because he might even bridge here. That's okay, you can still put your foot up. Adjust, straighten his arm, let your hand come to your bicep, and just lean over that. Okay, and if he comes back, it's all the same. Okay? So if he straightens this arm, boom. Rewind. I'm here, I'm trying to crank this down. He straightens it, I come to here. Okay? This hand isn't really grabbing, it's just kind of draping over. Okay? If I'm here, if he bridges, I put my weight forward, foot up, rewind. If he doesn't bridge, I flick the foot over anyways. If I have to, I can straighten it out and drop down. Okay. And this bottom one you can adjust wherever you need. So not much changes, okay? Your grip just slides. Goes from here to here. This elbow walks forward. Okay? Then straighten out your body so your sternum is lined up over that arm. That is right here. So when my knee comes up, now everything's lined up on what I'm trying to break. That's important to make things easy. You guys got it? On 3. 1, 2. After people punch, okay, they start to roll. So I push his arm down, drop my elbow, feed. He punches that arm out. Sometimes there's two things that'll happen, okay? Rewind. He'll punch really fast, and I'll lose that, okay? Okay, and he can roll this way or this way. Today, he's gonna punch, and he's gonna roll this way. Roll that way, okay? And this is what we're gonna attack. Because everybody wants to get on their side. So I drop this down, I go for my first side. He goes to straighten his arm out. I either can't finish this, okay? Or he does it so fast, we miss, okay? I know where he's gonna bring this elbow. He wants to bring it down to his ribs. Switch your hand, okay? The minute this arm escapes or you miss it, I still have it, right? It's all controlled. That's fine. I know he wants to try to roll away. Boom, that's okay. One, drop your forehead down to your fingers, okay? If you need to adjust this, walk back, lift his head up, walk this hand all the way through. Now, forehead down to your fingers, drive forward. If you want, you can grapevine or you can cross your feet, but for right now, it's just leaning forward, okay? It is harder to finish the arm and choke from mount than it is side, okay? So if you guys have trouble with mount or you have guys with skinny necks, don't worry about it. Push the arm down, okay? I go for my attack. Before you lock down, you punch it. As long as my hands are a good trap, I'm under his head, okay? What I don't want is this arm to come back to here, okay? I avoid that. Put my head down. Put your arm back there. It doesn't work, right? And he doesn't want to raise it up. He wants to keep it there, right? So look, I lean forward. You can be up on your toes. If I have to adjust, I come back, lift his head up, walk my hand across, and then here. You have options for your legs, okay? I've seen it finished all different ways. You can have toes up to drive forward. You can have toes down to drive forward on your knees. You can grapevine and drive forward. You can cross your feet and drop down. It's just preference for where your legs are. Just keep them occupied with something, okay? Me, I don't often cross my feet or grapevine anymore. People are too explosive. Sometimes you forget, you can't get your leg out fast, okay? So this is what happens when he punches that arm straight, comes over. You guys got it? On three. 1, 2. Remind me of Steve. This mount, we spend a lot of time setting up rings. Okay? Two things this guy does. You go here, he straightens the arm out, boom. Okay? I catch it. When I do my adjustment, okay? Elbow on the mat, lift his head up, walk this. If I'm having a hard time finishing here, sometimes he has his arm down a little bit, okay? Or maybe he keeps bridging up, which means I have to do this, right? I have to put a hand on the base, drop my head down. That's all right. When he bridges, okay? That's when your foot comes here. Hook, drag your knee across, and drop it down. Okay? So we're here. You don't pass that. When he just decides to bridge, to counter, look, my weight might go forward, foot comes up, other knee lifts. See how much pressure I can put on him right now? And my head can be on the ground, I still have a free hand. Okay, this knee slides. Now, this is important. Everybody wants to push forward. Slide back, lift his head, take that adjustment, and then with your head down, your dick in the dirt, knees down, you just use your toes in this hand, and you drive forward. It's my toes and my legs that do the finish. Still with us?
Yeah. Still there.
Okay.
It was close.
The more your body is laying on the ground, the less of it you have to hold on. Okay? So one, I go to feed, he punches out, boom. Adjust, right? I go, some of you guys are doing this too. Gable gripping here. I know it's habit, don't do that. Not yet, okay? Your grip will come at the very end after you've set up all your angles and you need to apply your squeeze because you can't finish with your leg power, okay? This is where I want you, okay? See how it's already applying pressure to Idris and he's already bridging? I have my hands together, right? But in reality, this grip right here, put your arm on the other side of my head. He can still do what I want him not to, okay? Put that arm back. If I drop my head down, that gets much harder for him, okay? So head down to your fingers. When he bridges to relieve the pressure, foot up. Once this foot's over, both up, drop your knee down his rib cage, okay? And then I'm gonna flatten backwards. Take his head up, walk your hand across, drop your head down, and just push forward. You guys got it? On 3. 1, 2. Take your time on the setup.
What's this one called?
An arm in choke.
Arm in choke. Arm in choke. Arm is in the choke. Yeah.
An arm in choke.
It's an arm in garment.
Last one. Personal favorite.
It's a connection.
It's gonna be a black break to this camera. That was my camera. All right, guys. So, everything starts the same. I get here, he punches his arm, pulls his elbow down, I adjust, I try to finish from mount, he bridges. I do my transition. Look, when I do this transition, I'm taking this knee and I'm driving it into his body as hard as I can. See how he's reacting? That's while he's thinking about that, everything's getting much tighter. Okay? But once I get to here, he answers the phone. What do I mean by answers the phone? He grabs his ear, okay? He's answering the phone. But in reality, his fingers are around the crown of his skull, okay? So I'm here. What he's done now is he's created a gap on this side. Straighten your arm out. No gap. Gap, okay? Once he gets here, his next step is he puts his other hand on his elbow and he tries to push that elbow into my head and drive that elbow down, okay? Well, I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the phone away. He lost his privileges, okay? These 4 fingers, hook right here. But what I do is I adjust my head just a little bit so I can use the back corner to drive his elbow into his head. And then I'm going to pull this hand down to my groin. Okay? So if we're here and I can't finish the choke or he answers the phone, before he can push that into my head, hook, okay? Adjust your head maybe 1 inch, okay? And then look, I use my toes to drive forward and I pull that arm down. Stay right there. It's just an Americana. Going from here, right? Drag it down, finish. Look at where you have to finish this the whole time, okay? We're just deciding to finish it here with the trap, okay? So it is technically just a modified Americana that the guy got his elbow up to here and you trapped it on his head, then you can pull his arm, okay? So think the same and it makes things a lot easier. So let's do, he answers the phone one more time. So 1, I get to here, I go to fight too slow. Head up, I try to hit this, he bridges. Come over, drag that knee across his belly. Look, he'll move for you if you do it right. Okay? Go flat. When I do my adjustment, coming south to pick his head, he answers the phone. Okay. Grab the phone, and look, it's these 3 fingers, sometimes these 4. Grab the blade of his hand. Okay. Then you drive that into him as I go forward. Pull this down. Okay. And then after this one, I'll show you the one that really hurts. On 3. 1, 2. The next one's the worst one. Poor Drew. Right here, right here. With very flexible shoulders, right? When you can't crank the shoulder, or you crank it to its max, you gotta use a shot. Right? Okay. So I'm here, I do my transition, I go to answer the phone. What happens here? Okay. I start pulling this. He's not gonna let me pull this forever, right? He's not gonna let me crank. He's gonna try to punch that arm straight. Boom, okay? Sometimes I pull down and right here he just punches it straight. When he punches it straight, he knows he doesn't want to turn back into me. Because I'm gonna drop my head down and block his elbow. So now he's gonna pull his elbow to his ribs and roll away. And this happens a lot, right? Roll to your side, keep going, okay? This is very common. Rewind. Okay? If he can pull his elbow, so I get to here, boom, okay, he punches it free, he's not gonna leave it up, he's gonna roll, and he's gonna bring it down. Okay? I'm gonna let him drag me. Okay? I'm gonna bring my right knee in to his lower back, right on his belt. Okay? If he has a tramp stance, it will be right on his tramp stance. Okay? So once I'm here, put his hand out, I fishtail this leg back, I sit eagle up. Okay? So I'm here, look, I have his head trapped still. Fishtail your leg back, sit him up, gable grip, break him back, pull it.
Oh, that's the Dude, it's happened for 5 minutes.
Come here, Dan, it's been a while. So if you're battling to crank that shoulder, and a couple things happen. Sometimes you guys are really flexible. Sometimes, you know, you have limited range because you're old like Eddie. All right, and you just don't have the range to push. That's fine. Like, you have to have other options. Alonzo in here, you have to break his arm because he's pretty hard to choke. Okay? So I get here, Dano bridges, boom. I do my transition, drop this down, and what happens is he goes to answer the phone. I grab this. Maybe Dano isn't flexible, so the minute he feels my hands here, he knows what I'm gonna do, so he punches. And when he punches, he rolls away and brings his elbow down to his rib cage because he wants to relieve this pressure right here on his neck. Leave your head down. Look, my head's still hitting his head. Okay? Which means his arm is trapped. Get your arm out, Dano. See how it's tough to get out? Okay? So I'm here. He rolls to the side, elbow down. Keep this clamped. Knee to his belt. Fishtail this foot back. Push with your hand, rock him up. Once you're here, gable grip, break him back. Okay? Sometimes you can break him back and then gable grip him. Doesn't matter. They're both pretty awful. Okay? You guys think you got it? On 3. 1, 2. Last one.
No submissions, pressure only. Stay on top. That's the goal of this roll around.
So I'm thinking in my head, about 5 years later, my dad doesn't think that at all. My mom's just saying, my dad is like me, we talk every couple days. He's so sick and tired of this bullshit. And he won't wear that shit in his shop or let anybody wear it in his shop. Really? Yeah. He's literally, he's got so much business he can afford to turn people away. It's a cult. It's a cult.
There's Dano just smashing Dano.
I'll be